touchdown scamper by Terry Metcalf is canceled out on a 77-yard run by Anthony Dorsett. We understand the longest run from scrimmage in Dallas history. And Efren Herrera will start it with 11:49 to go. And the Cardinals have a chance. It's Metcalf to the 35 and dragged down from behind. Aaron Kyle was up in front. Scott Laidlaw, number 35, got him from behind.
And if you wonder how a run like Tony Dorsett just made occurs, look at the center. Blocking on Tim Carney. And then a missed tackle. And the Cardinals have had trouble with that all year. They just haven't been tackling well. But Fitzgerald
injured on the play as well, Alex. And there's a penalty going against the Cardinals.
Well, so that's exactly why they drafted Anthony Dorsett, for runs like that. The Cardinals have never had an explosive back like that in the history of that team. Not like him.
Well, it's a clipping penalty against the Cardinals. They put it in play 1st and 10 on their own 15. So it is 1st and 10 from the Cardinal 15. Final score, Minnesota 14, Detroit 7. So all you folks who saw that ball game, pull up a chair and join us. We've got a dandy. Wayne Morris with Terry Metcalf out in front trying to block, and he was trying to block D.D. Lewis and couldn't quite do it.
And, of course, that's the score right here. 10-10, and don't go away. It's still happening.
Take your shoes off and let these boys do the rolling around St. Louis Stadium. It's 10-10. The Cowboys had a field goal from Herrera. The Cardinals had a field goal from Bakken and a 62-yard touchdown run by Terry Metcalf.
And you can know that number 17, Jim Hart, is not going to sit on a tie.
No.
I can't say a lead.
2nd and 5 from the 20. In motion comes Wayne Morris. There goes Metcalf. He's behind Roger Finney, and he got out to the 25. Remember, it was Roger Finney who threw the key block that opened up that 62-yard run by Metcalf.
And they're working on that Dallas left side. Jethro Pugh and Ed Jones, chiefly not singing in disrespect to them, but Brother Conrad Dobler and Dan Deerdorf are two of the best. They're running behind their blocks at the point of attack.
Terry Metcalf coming out for a well-deserved breather. Jerry Lattin comes in to take over for him, number 32. Lattin can run. He had a 57-yard touchdown run against Detroit last year. 1st and 10 from the 25. Wayne Morris surviving a very high tackle by Bob Brunig, number 53, who almost took his head off.
He is a exceptionally strong runner. They say he bench presses about 360 pounds, that he can really get it on.
Yeah, Brunig, number 53, plays the guitar, and I think there were a few notes heard just then in Wayne Morris's head.
Brunig has come along well, though. He really has. His development replacing Leroy Jordan has been remarkable.
2nd and 7 from the Cardinal 28. They swing a little to Morris. He's got Dobler in front of him, and he gets across the 40-yard line and goes out of bounds. Dobler was throwing the block at Bob Brunig and cleared him out of there. So this time, Brunig had somebody his size, and he was taken away.
Dallas had a stun on that time. Larry Cole in the game, you see Ed Too Tall Jones caught inside. That's going to knock off some of the pursuit that might otherwise have been in that area. Good block downfield, and anytime you see a run of any distance, you're going to see those receivers blocking downfield. There's another one there. Run out of bounds by Bill Gregory over there.
So 1st and 10 on the Cardinal 43-yard line. Remember, they started on their own 15 because of the penalty. Hart, with his back hanging close, goes deep down the left side, and it's intercepted and dropped. Cliff Harris had both hands on the ball. The pass intended for Mel Gray. Harris and Kyle were there, and Cliff had both meat hooks on it.
Well, let's kind of take a look in at Conrad Dobler, because he might have been the person guilty of holding, if that is the call. Oh, we got Mel Gray. Kyle's got the coverage on him with the help over there from Cliff Harris. Usually Cliff would make that interception. He's got 2 this year.
So the penalty, let's read it.
Offense, 66, holding.
I can't believe it.
Would you believe?
Conrad
my
Dobler
man
holding?
That's my main man, Conrad. They caught him again. Oh, brother, he's got a lot of publicity, and he says it's going against him now. The officials are looking for him.
Yeah,
He's
that
built a
could be.
reputation. He's a scrambler. That guy was released one time. He said, that's a lonely feeling being on waivers. I'm going to do anything in my power to keep him ever being again.
Can't blame him for that. 1st and 20 from the Cardinal 33. Hard on a draw to Wayne Morris, and down he goes. The first guy to hit him big, number 56, Thomas Henderson, who's a super athlete, and down he went. A reminder, starting tomorrow night, Logan's Run takes you to the outer reaches of the universe for mind-bending adventure. Every Monday. That's Monday night at 8, 7 Central and Mountain for Logan's Run. Alex Hawkins, have you ever had mind-bending adventures?
Not since last night.
Terry Metcalf and Jerry Latin in and out of the lineup, and right now Metcalf is back in there. 2nd and 18 from the 35. And Hart, under heavy pressure, gets it away. Broken up, and broken up indeed by Benny Barnes, who just got a hand in front of Mel Gray.
Big rush there by Harvey Martin. Just about the sack. Let's see if we can see it in the picture this time. Look at the top right part of your screen. You see the big rush coming in from the outside.
The reason
Harvey
there's
Martin.
a big rush, offside Dallas just now.
I got you. I got you. Jim Hart should no way thrown that ball. The coverage was there. He tried to force it. As we say, that's not his long suit. It's throwing on the run or scrambling at all. He needs to stay in that.
Defense, 77, offside.
That would be Big Bill Gregory. So Jim Hart with 2nd and 13 from the 40 when we find out that Washington leading Tampa Bay 10-0, but it comes tough against them.
There went my upset of the week. I thought maybe Tampa could, but they haven't scored but one touchdown this year, and the defense scored that. Having trouble with their offense down there in Tampa.
2nd and 13 for Jim Hart and the Cardinals on their own 40-yard line. Gray is left, Harris is right. The backs both stay in, and he goes for the bomb intended for Gray. Touchdown! He beat Mel Renfro. And there's a fight on the field.
We have got some action.
It is Harvey Martin being restrained, and down at the bottom there is even more. As they get up, Conrad Dobler was at the bottom.
He's at the bottom of everything.
With Jim Hart, Mel Gray taking
Thunder
that
and
away
lightning.
from Mel Renfro.
I'm telling you, when those two team up, they can make things happen in a hurry. That's his first touchdown pass of the year, and that's one of the reasons the Cardinals haven't been very effective on offense. Mel Gray can make the big play for you. See the big rush there? The ball, look at the adjustment he makes on the ball. He was looking over his other shoulder, turned and looked over his left shoulder and made the reception on a perfectly thrown pass.
And for Mel Renfro, 14 years in the big leagues, he had his nose in the rug as Mel Gray carried it in. So the Cardinals come roaring back, and it is 16-10 St. Louis. Jim Bakken will try to make it 17. Boy, they really got a mix-up there. Everybody watching Gray dance in the end zone, and there was Dobler, Hart, Harvey Martin. They were really going at it.
That's going to give that Cardinal defense a lift, too, because they expect the Cardinals. They've got the material to score a lot of points, and they haven't been doing it this year. That's going to give that defense, make them play a whole lot harder.
That was
watch
a
Roger come
60-yard.
back. Roger be back.
60-yard touchdown pass to Mel Gray. And now Bakken trying to add one to it. It's up. It's good. Oh, don't go wandering away. We got 9 minutes and 3 seconds to go in the second quarter. The Cardinals 17 and the Cowboys 10.
Mr. Highboom.
Huh?
Mr. Highboom.
Yes?
Yeah, look, we understand that you're taking a trip with us tomorrow.
Trip?
Yeah, well, we want you to know that Avis is working right now.
Avis?
It's vacuuming your car, checking the oil, brakes, even the air in the spare tire.
Spare tire.
One of the ways Avis tries harder is working at night, so you're ready in the morning. Yeah. Oh, by the way, it's a Chrysler Cordoba, and it's blue. See you in the morning.
See you in the morning.
We try harder, Avis. Avis, we don't know another way.
Want to cut your fuel bills? Whether your house is new or old, put insulation everywhere it can save you money. Your attic, you need a 6 to 12-inch blanket of pink Owens Corning fiberglass. Walls, full insulation. Unheated crawl space, insulate below the floor. Live where it's cold, insulate basement walls. See your Owens Corning fiberglass supplier to learn all about insulation. Insulation is cheaper than oil.
It took 6 plays, 85 yards. The capper, the 60-yard touchdown pass to Mel Gray. And the Cardinals are leading Dallas 17-10. And Jim Bakken kicking off Larry Brinson and Butch Johnson, the twin safeties for Dallas. Bakken hits a knuckleball to the left side. Butch Johnson at the 10. He has Salty and Brinson in front of him and too many Cardinals. And some more bad blood now. That's Mike Hegman. And Hedgeman was angry, and he is being restrained by Williams. And away they go. Boys are a little angry this early in the day. Don't forget the CBS Sports Spectacular next Saturday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern. Among other things, highlights of the Jockey Club Gold Cup. Then the Chunichi Cup. And cap that off with the world's strongest men. That's next Saturday, 4:30 p.m. Eastern. Well, we got some pretty strong men here. Cardinals trying to throw Cowboys, vice versa, all over the turf at Bush Memorial Stadium.
You got some emotion out there today. There's no tomorrow for the Cardinals. It's early in the in the season to consider themselves out of it if they should lose today. But brother, they don't want to be 1-3. What was it? 2 years ago they started 2-2 though, and then won about 9 straight games, or 9 out of 10 or something like that.
Well, here comes Dallas now. 1st and 10 on their own 25-yard line, trailing by a touchdown. On a play-action fake to Dorsett, Staubach throws to the left side to Robert Newhouse. Mark Arneson refuses to let go of those big thighs and brings him down.
Mark Arneson been used to playing in that middle, and they moved him to the outside, and he made the transition rather easily.
His younger brother played for Dallas, so it runs in the family.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
2nd down and 2 from the 33, a pickup of 8 on that play. So Staubach in a big chunk starts to get his ball club moving. And Dorsett is the deep man behind Newhouse. And Dorsett with Newhouse blocking Worley, and Worley still couldn't make it, but there's a flag. Newhouse threw a block at Roger Worley. Worley pushed him aside, and then the flag. We'll have to take another look.
I want to see what Worley was doing on that side of the field. He plays the defensive right corner. I guess they went into I didn't see the formation that time. What we got here? Just plain old holding.
Let's see if it's holding Newhouse on Worley.
There's Kenny Reeves, defensive captain for the Cardinals. Ron Jankowski, drafted fairly high, 6 or 8 years ago, 7 years ago.
17-10 Cardinals, 8 minutes and 9 seconds to go in the second quarter. This penalty will be marched off against Dallas. They had 2nd and 2.
.44. You had it, Newhouse. You were right. 44.
So it was Robert Newhouse in trying to block off Roger Worley, and Newhouse was guilty of holding. So that's a big call of 10. That makes it 2nd and 12. The ball is back on the Dallas 23-yard line. Drew Pearson wide right, Golden Richards wide left. Dorsett is in there with Newhouse, and the backs are split. Tight end on the right side. Staubach looking for Newhouse, but then throws down the left side, and it's complete to Drew Pearson. And Lee Nelson pushes him out of bounds.
What a beautifully run route that time. That's exactly the way they teach it. He went downfield about 15, 18 yards and then came back for the football. Watch as Roger Staubach makes a perfect throw in a very disciplined pattern by a very disciplined receiver. Look how he came back at it. Kept both feet in bounds. That's a good job. Lee Nelson bumped him out.
And if Newhouse had stayed down in his area, he would have been wide open as well. They really did.
He can't catch, though. Newhouse is not. There they are.
There they are.
The Wild Bunch.
That's Roger Finney, number 60. Tom Banks, number 54. Dan Deerdorf, number 72.
And number 72, I think, in my mind, is the best tackle in football.
1st and 10 on the Dallas 35. Dorsett on a play-action fake to Dorsett. Staubach under some heat. Gets it off to Newhouse, who stumbles across the 35, goes down at the 40. Billy Joe Dupree was trying to take Sensabaugh apart. And you see a little heat on Roger Staubach.
Had a little blitz going that time. Let's see if we can pick it up over here. Number 53, Steve Niels, going inside. Jankowski outside. When they blitz, the linebacker inside. There you see him. There's Steve Niels. That defensive end will maintain an outside position. Hold him in that pocket. Oh, that was Carney, wasn't it? Well, they had 2 blitzes that time.
2nd and 5 from the 40-yard line of Dallas. Staubach to Dorsett at the 40-yard line. And Dorsett tied up by Niels, belted by Mike Dawson. Niels did a little dance step to keep Dorsett in place, and then Dawson erased him.
Dawson's going to be a good football player. Number 1 draft choice. Let's look in on Tony Dorsett. No place to go. Catches it nicely in his hands. Good job there by Steve Niels, bringing him back into the pursuit of Mike Dawson.
Boy, Mike Dawson knocked his accent off there with that Dorsett.
Yes, sir.
He knocked a syllable into foul territory.
Drop him like a bad habit, buddy.
3rd and 1 on the Dallas 44. Dorsett and Newhouse back of Staubach. Pearson on the wing. Here comes Dorsett. And he carries it out across the 50. Roger Worley came up to meet him along with Tim Carney. And Dorsett, with great power leg action, just drove it across the midfield stripe. Final score, Baltimore 45, Miami 28.
Burt Jones throwing 3 touchdown passes in that game that I see right here.
A shocker.
Yes, sir. That one really did come as a surprise. As we mentioned, Terry Bradshaw was hurt in that game, and I hope nothing serious, but they took him for x-rays at the hospital, as I report.
1st and 10 from the 50. 5 minutes and 50 seconds to go in the second quarter. 17-10 Cardinals. Staubach down the right side, intended for Drew Pearson. No good. Lee Nelson right there.
Well, he's been mentioned a few times today. We're coming right at you, as I'll be. Here we go. Roger in his pocket. Just absolutely thrown perfectly there. Not much of an effort there for some reason, but Drew Pearson, he's a better receiver than that.
So it's 2nd and 10. The ball on the 50-yard line. Dorsett and Newhouse. Drew Pearson wide right. Golden Richards in a slot. Dupree, the tight end, on the left side. 2nd and 10. Newhouse staying in to block. He can't do it. John Zook came in and took his head off.
Yes, sir.
Number 63, John Zook out of Kansas.
He's been out most of the year with some injuries. This is the first week he's been healthy enough to play. John Zook, he's going to help that Cardinal team. He's a big pass rusher, and they certainly need that. Look at him coming around the outside. Roger never saw him, but he felt him. John Zook, they got him in a trade, number 1 draft choice, I guess 2 years ago, was it?
Yeah, the Atlanta trade with Greg Kindle.
That's right.
Tim Carney out now in that nickel defense. Jeff Severson comes in. The ball on the 39-yard line of Dallas. 3rd and 21. So Roger took his lumps on that play. There you see the 3rd down efficiency. Dupre is loosened off the tight end spot. Pearson on the left. Butch Johnson on the right. And Staubach looking and running to the left side to Pearson, who is touched by Worley and then goes down. Roger Worley was unable to keep him, but he got a couple of teammates to come over to make sure he wouldn't get away. And whoops,
look at here.
That's Dawson pointing to Drew Pearson, saying, you and me.
A mismatch.
By the way, Mike Dawson is 6'4", 274. When he says you and me, you don't answer.
Pearson didn't look like he wanted to pursue that.
Don't forget, the CBS Sports Spectacular, the entire running of the 59th $300,000 Jockey Club Gold Cup race will be on the CBS Sports Spectacular next Saturday at 4:30 p.m. 4th and 9 from the 49-yard line. Metcalf all alone on his 10. Danny White kicking from the 40, and he got a good one over to the left side to Metcalf on his 5. Chased by Randy White and buried at the last moment by Stalls at the 15.
Good coverage by that punting team, the Dallas Cowboys.
Stalls almost took Metcalf's entire jersey off after Randy White first grabbed him. David Stalls, who finally brought him down, by the way, is a rookie, and that's a little news in that defensive front side, but not so much on the special team.
How many did they have this year? Cowboys, 8 or 9, something like that?
That's
every
about
year,
it.
8 or 9, 10 rookies make that ball club, but they turn them over, bro.
They only have 3 on the defense. 1st and 10 on the Cardinal 14-yard line. Too many Blues over there. Bob Brunig leading the charge. Brunig, of course, number 53 for Dallas, had to really fill a big pair of shoes as we see halftime Atlanta, San Francisco, no score. Bob Brunig, a 3-year man out of Arizona State, all he is doing is replacing Leroy Jordan.
Oh, brother, that's hard enough in itself. Leroy told me his last year, he said, I got a rookie behind me. If I don't play the best football I've ever played in my life, I'm not going to last the season. He said, Brunig will move me out of there.
Well, we're seeing him now. 2nd and 6 from the 18-yard line. Hart giving it to Wayne Morris. Metcalf tried to block for him, but he couldn't quite take D.D. Lewis out of there, and Aaron Kyle came up and made the hit.
Well, you hear a lot more about the other linebackers than you do D.D. Lewis, but he's just as good as anybody plays that game. Been around Dallas for about 9 years now.
Give you an idea of Terry Metcalf's role. He is 5'10", 185-pounder, and he was trying to clear D.D. Lewis out of the way, 6'1" and 215. That's a tough assignment.
He's a great competitor. He'll do anything that you ask him to do. He really is that.
3rd and 6 from the 18, and now let's see Hart's big play. Gray is right. Harris left. And it'll be Metcalf, of course, on a big play. If he's something else, as he runs across the 25-yard line.
Look at this. Everybody's fighting. Herrera's in on the action now. He and Metcalf are shoving. Get out of town. What is this?
I think there's going to be a clip, however, against the Cardinals. The play unfolded too well.
Oh, good block by Conrad Dobler. Hate to see that happen to him. He really got out there and cleared it away. That Metcalf, he just keeps you on the edge of your seat, doesn't he?
We have 2 minutes and 41 seconds to go to the half. The Cardinals 17, the Cowboys 10, and they are really just warming up. Ball on the 9. Let's listen.
Offense, 66, flipping.
Well, it's Conrad Dobler, all right.
Well, let's take a look at old Conrad. He'll be the right guard pulling. Let's see what he does. Looked like to me he got out there and made good shape. There he is rolling there. I don't believe they must call that on somebody else. Conrad didn't clip. He's been guilty of holding, but he didn't clip.
3rd and 15 from the 9. So Hart faced with another tough assignment. Uh-oh, a mix-up. Wayne Morris finally falling on the ball. But on 4th down, they put a lot of pressure on a very anxious punter. Wouldn't you say Terry Joyce looks anxious out there and
yes,
slow?
I would say that just exactly that. I have never been sold on him. He used to take a lot more time to kick the ball. They reduced his steps from 3 to 2, but it's still not quick enough to suit me.
Henderson is on the right side, and Barnes is on the left side. That would be 56-31. And, of course, his first punt was blocked by Waters. They're coming. There's a flag, and there will be a penalty, I'm sure, on a fair catch by Butch Johnson. Let's see.
Well, they came after that punt. Barnes almost got it, too.
Someone received a warning, evidently, but no flag. And the crowd at the far end of the stadium thought the warning was more than that, as Joyce just did get it away. Benny Barnes missed the ball and rolled in underneath Joyce's legs. So there's the 2-minute warning. The Cardinals 17, the Cowboys 10.
Now try and forget the 10th largest life insurance company in America, Lincoln National Life. We're easy to remember.
Hello, everybody. This is Lowell Thomas. Alaska, tough on people, tough on auto parts. So we took Motorcraft heavy-duty batteries, oil filters, and tune-up parts to Alaska, testing them in 50 GM, Chrysler, and Ford cars and trucks. After 6 months of Alaskan pipeline country, less than 1% of the parts couldn't take the punishment. No matter what you drive, wherever you drive, ask for Motorcraft auto parts from Ford. Tested tough in Alaska. So long.
Well, the cheerleaders cheering the Cardinal fans who are leading 17-10, and at the same time lifting the spirits of the Dallas Cowboy fans, because Dallas in good field position, 1st and 10 on the Cardinal 42-yard line. And of course, that was a very big clipping penalty against Conrad Dobler. Instead of a first down by Metcalf, they wound up having to punt out of the end zone, and Terry Joyce barely got it away.
Watch old Roger go to work. Ben, he's a quiet killer. He doesn't say a whole lot, but he's got some killer in him, buddy.
Well, we got 2 minutes to go to half. 1st and 10 on the Cardinal 42. Golden Richards right. Drew Pearson left. Billy Joe Dupree in a flex on the left side. And it's to Preston Pearson at the 30, and a sandwich applied by Mark Arneson and Tim Carney, the linebackers. That's good enough for a first down, and he picked up 13 quicker than you can say Alex Hawkins.
Or a dunk shot. You know, he's an old basketball player, and he used a little basketball pivot move right there.
1:44 to the half. 1st and 10 from the Cardinal 30. Staubach, a little lift to Pearson. He got away from Carney. Neal slowed him up, and he was finally taken down. He needed help from Lee Nelson.
Same kind of pivot, though. It's that pick and roll. I think that's what they call it in basketball. He just pivots around there. You know, Preston Pearson, I played with him in Baltimore when he first came up before he was traded to Pittsburgh, and we never really took him serious as a back. He was a safety man. Played a little bit just on the special teams, and he really didn't play that much until he went to Pittsburgh.
And coming up at halftime, of course, Brent Musburger, Phyllis George, and Irv Cross. And they have an entertaining halftime show for you, and then we'll be back to see the second half of the Cowboys and the Cardinals. We have a time out on the field, 1 minute and 32 seconds to go. The Cardinals holding on to a 7-point lead, and Dallas now trying to shoot holes in it. Jay Saldy, Billy Joe Dupree, Preston Pearson, all of the other blue and silver. The front offensive line with Staubach talking to his head coach, Tom Landry. 18th year as Cowboy coach. He has had 12 straight winning seasons. 11 of 12 years he has guided Dallas into the playoffs. They won the Super Bowl number 6 back in 1972.
I told a Dallas writer, Bob St. John, years ago, he was doing a article about me, and he asked me how I felt about Landry. It was before he put that winning combination together, and I said, you never make it. Ain't no way you'll ever be a winning coach. See what I know about it? Nothing.
Yeah. Predictions are about worth that much.
I'm the guy that said Jim Brown would never make it big, too.
What's the comedy line where the comic says, but don't take me seriously, I predicted Zsa Zsa Gabor would be a nun. All right, 2nd and 3 from the Cowboy, moving to the Cardinal 23-yard line. Staubach under some heat and dumps it away, and they were going to eat him up. John Zook and Mike Dawson claiming that Staubach pulled the plug and just got rid of it.
And you know he did, too. Nobody in that area, and nobody in there. They had the blitz on that time, right up the middle. Tim Carney was blitzing right up the middle. I think you can see it, and he goes unblocked. I believe it's Carney, isn't it? All right, but you see nobody in that area, and I think it was intentionally ground the ball. But
well,
Roger,
it's not called.
If they're not going to bring it to Roger's attention, he's not going to call their attention to it.
3rd down and 3 from the Cardinal 23. We have, as you see, 1 minute and 28 to the half. Drew Pearson wide right, Golden Richards left, Dupree the tight end on the right side. The backs are Jay Saldy and Preston Pearson. Saldy in there to block, a big tight end. Dawson ran around him, and the pass broken up, intended for Pearson. Guess who? Lee Nelson,
yes,
the
sir.
unknown soldier.
Rising to the occasion, doing what they expected him to do, and doing it so capably, too. He's got the coverage. He has all day. The big rush there by Dawson, number 73, as you saw. You can't have a man covered any better than that. Plenty of room.
The rush is so strong by the Cardinals that Dallas brought in tight end Jay Saldy to try to help Staubach out, and Dawson went right by Saldy but couldn't quite get a shot at Staubach.
And really that has been the weakness of the Cardinals. They've only had 3 quarterback sacks coming into today's game this season.
Herrera with the ball spotted on the 30, so a 40-yard field goal attempt is good, and the Cowboys come scrambling back. We have 1 minute and 19 seconds to go to the half. The Cardinals lead cut to 4. St. Louis 17, Dallas 13. And the crowd applauding both sides. We are seeing a fabulous half of a great football game.
Well, the Cardinals are the #1 passing team in the NFC, and I wouldn't be at all surprised if Jim Hart doesn't come out and just start humming it again.
I'll tell you one thing. When you pass against Dallas, the opposing quarterbacks up to today have passed for an efficiency of only 38%. Dallas is the toughest in the NFL. They have intercepted 8. They are tied with Baltimore and Kansas City to be #1 in the NFL. So every time Hart puts that ball in the air, it's a crapshoot, but he's getting away with it.
It's the #3 defensive team in the NFC. Along with all that information, there's 11 sacks. They have really been getting after the quarterbacks on the other teams.
Efren Herrera, who doesn't mind mixing it up at all, will tee it up on the 35. There's the scoring drive. 5 plays, 19 yards, a penalty hurting them. And then they finally get the field goal from Herrera. So it is 17-13 Cardinals, 1:19 to go to the half. And Herrera kicking to Terry Metcalf, if he goes that deep. But he's going to keep it on the ground. Wayne Morris over, but he lets Metcalf pick it up. He's to the 25, to the 30, and to the 32-yard line. Jay Saldy is an unknown soldier out there, big number 87 for Dallas. But he is involved in all kinds of plays, including blocking for Staubach, and just then he was the one who tripped up Metcalf.
Yeah, he and Barnes are very good on the special teams. Both of them do a good job. Excellent job.
There is Jay Saldy, and it's time to salute some people who don't get too much press. Second-year man out of South Carolina. He was the only rookie free agent to stick with Dallas from training camp, and he's doing a fine job. Morris and Metcalf are behind Hart. 1st and 10 from the 30. And Hart, under pressure from Randy White, got away and completes it to his big man, number 88, J.V. Kane, at midfield.
J.V. That's a good job by Jim Hart getting away from that Dallas rush this time. You'll see a good
54.
rush by Randy White here. Randy be coming into the picture. Number 54, you see him right there. Hart kind of ducking, expecting to be hit, and when he wasn't, he just got up and threaded a needle. Right in the hands to J.V. Kane. J.V. Kane is a tight end that can go deep on you. Look at the rush there by White, though. Banks just barely bumped him off there. Deerdorf doing his usual good job on Too Tall Jones. He does get a lick here, though. Yes, sir.
All the boys. Randy Hughes hit him first on the side. Aaron Kyle going on top of him. Timeout. We should point out J.V. Kane caught 5 touchdown passes last year, tying Mel Gray. So he's a tight end who can get him and put up 6.
He's caught 2 touchdown passes this year, both of them leaping one-handed grabs that were a thing of beauty. Yes, sir.
That's Terry Joyce. Very, very early in the game. Terry had to get a punt away, and it was blocked by Charlie Waters. The next time he was asked to punt, Tom Henderson apparently stood behind the Dallas line hollering and pointing, "I'm coming, I'm coming." And Dallas evidently tried to intimidate him, but Terry was able to get them away. But even so, he is not that loose that he's just going to stand on the sidelines and watch. He's got to do something while he waits.
You got it, Vin.
And you got Terry Metcalf.
Yes, sir. I love to watch him play.
What do you call him, the Tooth Fairy?
The Tooth Fairy. I haven't seen it. You ever seen anybody catch the Tooth Fairy? Been doing it for years, getting by with it. They always think this guy's going to go down with injuries, but so far he's been fairly durable.
And a nice little earring in his left ear.
He didn't explain that one to me, so I didn't ask.
1st and 10 from midfield, 1:06 to go. It's 17-13 Cardinals. The backs stay in to block, and hard hit by Harvey Martin, gets away to pass and throws it away. Harvey Martin and Bill Gregory appeared to have him for a sack, and he got away.
How in the world did he get out of that trap? Gracious, look at old Cliff Harris. Now, buddy, he'll put something on you that soap and water won't wash off. He will hit you. If you move, he'll hit you.
You see Hart just shaking his head there. Watch the rush again.
He said, I dodged a bullet here. Big rush there. Let's look at Gregory. Look, Martin's always around there. Yes, sir. Who is that? One of the backs back there trying to pick him up. No, that was Finney. Roger Finney, number 60.
Yeah, he just drove Finney back into the backfield.
Good job there by Jim Hart. Good place to put it, too. Throw it to the green grass.
All right, 2nd and 10 from midfield. We have 59 seconds to the half. 17-13 Cardinals. Hart, not at all conservative. A little swing to Wayne Morris, and he took his eye off the ball for a very good reason. The reason is named Thomas Henderson, 6'2", 220.
Two interceptions last week. Number 1 interceptor in NFC. He's had 3 of the year. One of them for about a 72-yard touchdown last week, as I recall. Isn't that right?
Yeah, 79, which was the longest since Mel Renfro ran 90 way back in 1965.
Oh, Mel's done a great job. What a great career he's had there for Dallas. Probably be his last year. Probably be Jackie Smith's last year.
It was a little sad as Mel Gray beat Mel Renfro for that touchdown pass in the corner.
It's very true.
It happens to all of them. 3rd and 10 from the 50. The backs start to flare. Hart got away from one arm, and a beefy shot. He got it in there to Harris. Great catch by Ike Harris. There's a penalty on, and somebody's hand, a big taped hand, almost knocked Jim Hart's head off.
Harvey Martin. I believe you'll find that hand belongs to Harvey Martin. Look at him. He looks a little put out. Oh, Harvey, brother, what a player he is. Too mean. Too mean.
There he is.
He plays every play for you, too, brother. He doesn't rest at all. You watch him now. Watch old number 79 at the bottom of your screen there. That's Roger Finney doing a job on him, or trying to. See him coming across his back with that right arm? Full of tape. That Hart is accurate, though, isn't he?
That was a great reception by Harris, and Mel Renfro hit him with all of his 14 years' experience.
There's old Mel taking a good look in there at Randy White. What an athlete he's going to be. You know, his career parallels that of Bob Lilly pretty closely. The first 2 years he was moved around. They tried to play him at linebacker, inside and outside. They did the same thing to Bob Lilly when he was a rookie, but they used him as a defensive end. He didn't really come into his own until they moved him to defensive tackle. Now they moved him, Randy White, to the defensive tackle, and he's coming on.
They put a nickname on Randy White. There's Harvey Martin. Martin, who was a teammate of Dwight White of Pittsburgh in college at East Texas State. They call him the Smiling Assassin down there. He has a radio show called The Beautiful Harvey Martin Show, starring the hard-hearted headhunter.
Would you?
Randy White also has a nickname. They call him the Manster, half man, half monster.
He's a phenom, brother. He's going to get better and better and better. Those are tough shoes, though, when you start trying to play for Bob Lilly. Dan Deerdorf told me that the toughest man he ever had to block was Bob Lilly. And I said, when in the world did you do that? He said, I was a guard early, and I had to block him in the first 2 games that he started for the Cardinals. He said it was a nightmare.
What a way to start your career.
And often finish it.
1st and 10 with 48 seconds to go in the half on the Dallas 35-yard line. The backs release. Harvey Martin got him, but he got away. Into the end zone. There's nobody there. Harvey Martin is going to win a belt in just missing today.
Yes, sir. Finney's doing a good job on him, as good as you're going to do. Looked like Jim might have hurt his hand.
He is twisting and turning and throwing off balance. And, of course, there's always a possibility of being hit. And he was spun just before throwing and evidently hurt that throwing hand, the fingers on the right hand.
What a young face he has, though. He doesn't look like he's going to shave till next Thursday.
You're not talking about Harvey Martin?
No, I'm talking about Jim Hart.
Oh, of course.
Peaches.
There's the stat as Jim Hart brings him up. 2nd and 10 from the 35-yard line at Dallas. 42 seconds to go to the half. Hart is buried by Harvey Martin. And that's the first time Martin was able to get a good lick in, and I mean it was a lick.
You can't dodge him all day long. Sooner or later, Harvey is going to get you. And he did that time, as you see Jim Hart kneeling right there. And
Wayne Morris and Dan Deerdorf trying to help the quarterback to get up. And the Cardinal bench coming out now to help us. Metcalf comes over. So Harvey kept missing, and finally got him.
Same thing Matt Dillon says, you can't keep dodging bullets forever. Look at this, though. Now, there he uses that. Take that. Oh, brother. Just completely dominated him that time. Roger just wearing down. Roger Finney just got run down that time.
It looked like Harvey's left arm found its way just underneath the left ear of Jim Hart.
That brings on an interesting situation if Jim Hart cannot return to the game. Their backup quarterback, and Bill Donkers, I guess they'd use, wouldn't they, Vin?
Yeah, probably. Pisarkowicz was not even in uniform earlier. Donkers would be the backup quarterback, and right now you see him listening to his coach, Don Coryell. Hart, probably trying to cushion the fall, also complicated matters by falling heavily on his right arm.
Oh, I'm glad to see that. Looks like he's going to be all right. He's just shaking up there. I certainly hope so. I love to see the guy play.
There's 38 seconds to the half. It's a pretty safe bet that he's not going to play at least until the third quarter. He got a lick.
Take it off there, Jim. I sure hope he's all right.
5 for 18, 126 yards, and 1 touchdown. But here is the Harvey Martin show.
Yes, sir. Just total domination of Roger Finney this time. A left-hand slap there, and then just completely ran over him. Yeah, I guess he did pull his face mask a little bit, but too much power there. Supposed to be illegal, but, well, they missed some of them. I believe this is the first action Donkers has seen this year, isn't it?
He's coming in now. He was in 1 game last year, and so Bill Donkers really having a tough assignment with 38 seconds to go. No doubt. He's going to put it up. No, he goes down. Harvey Martin lands on top of him with Roger Finney.
Oh, you got to feel sorry for a kid on his first play of the year just falling down like that. Gracious me. Martin just putting on a devastating rush to the outside. What he's doing to Finney right now isn't even worth talking about. He just lost his footing altogether.
Donkers was going down on his own, and Jim Hart taking a little sip and trying to revive his spirits. And evidently, although he took a serious shake-up type, not a serious injury, he looks like the type who will be able to come back in the third quarter. So Donkers, 1 play, and he hit the rug. And now Terry Joyce, with 17 seconds, will be punting from his 40 to Butch Johnson, standing all alone on the Dallas 10. And the score, the Cardinals 17, the Cowboys 13. We only have, as you see, a couple of seconds to go. We might not even have a kick. With 2 seconds left, there's a delay of game penalty against the Cardinals. They are not the least bit fazed by it.
Offense, delay.
So they, I think, will just kill it again. Joyce going back. 2 seconds to go to the half. It has been a great half. 17-13 Cardinals.
Ben, you think he's going to kick it, or you think he just run around there with it?
If I were he, I would walk back about 3 steps and fall down.
You got it.
Thank you very much. There ain't no way he's going to kick the ball, but Tom Henderson would love it. That's the end of the first half with the score. The Cardinals 17, the Cowboys 13.
Cicely Tyson for Color Track by RCA.
My rose is red, my skin is dark brown, and my dress is bright orange. If these colors don't look right to you, you should know about Color Track from RCA. Getting the color right is what Color Track is all about. It actually adjusts the colors and locks them on track.
Before you see the Color Track system grabs it, aligns it, defines it, sharpens it, tones it, and locks the color on track.
RCA is making television better and better.
Ford means business in big trucks. And now Ford announces the CL9000, its new lightweight cabover. Compare the driver comfort of its spacious cab with optional cab air ride. Compare the efficiency of its lightweight, choice of engines, and aerodynamic design. Compare features like plug-in gauges designed to help minimize downtime. Ford CL9000. Compare it with any line hauler on the road today. Ford means business in big trucks.
Pabst Blue Ribbon knows that to bring a 5,000-pound African elephant back to the safety of his protected herd is a challenge that's just not for everyone. But we do challenge you to discover a better tasting beer. Taste and compare Pabst with any other premium beer. You'll taste the difference Blue Ribbon quality makes. Pabst, since 1844, the quality has always come through.
This week, Rhoda meets her new boss.
You gotta be the rudest person I ever met.
You never met my wife.
I would be afraid to meet the woman who married you.
I would too. She died 10 years ago.
And two girls face naked truth in advertising in the premiere of On Our Own. New comedy right after Rhoda. Sunday Funny starting at 8, 7 Central and Mountain.